Now it just shows you how things have changed. This is my Bolex 5120 macro zoom cine camera. This is what I used to do my filming with many years ago when I joined a local cine club, and I was quite keen on it. I just got married and we had young children, and I thought it would be nice to take some film of them. Then I joined a local cine club and it got a lot more serious, and I ended up buying this camera, which was a much better job than what I had before. It was quite expensive. I actually paid £300 for this, and that was in 1976, and that was a lot of money then. I've even got the original receipt for it. It came from a company called Camera Hayes at Bletchley. We used to go over there and buy our cine equipment. It takes Super 8 film, and a Super 8 film at the time, this was a sound film, mind, a Super 8 sound film at the time was about £6 or £7 for a cartridge, and it only lasts for like 3 minutes 20 seconds, and then you had to put another cartridge in. The problem is that with the high cost of it, it was a bit of an advantage in a way, because people didn't waste film. Today, with digital cameras going on for hours and hours for next to nothing, they film all sorts of rubbish, and some unfortunate people have got to sit and watch it. Whereas with a cine camera, people did still film rubbish, but they didn't film so much of it. That's the thing. Now I'm going to bring in my Panasonic camera that I use today. This one's been in the cupboard for 30 years unused, and I just got it out to show you, really. This is my Panasonic, the equivalent. I mean, look at the difference in size. It's quite startling, the difference in quality as well. And you can film for practically nothing, and it's much more convenient, much lighter. It used to be a job carrying this about. Of course, I was younger then and fitter, but I don't think I'd want to carry that about much today. Although, to be honest, I wish I had a bigger camera, because this one's a bit small to use. But it's incredible the difference between the two. I just want to tell you a few things about the old style cine camera and how things have changed for today. This is the film in here. You have to open this up, and there's actually a film in there which is partly processed, but I'm not going to bother with it, so I'm going to take it out. That's the actual film stock that we used, Kodak Super 8. The incredible thing about this is it's quite large. This is a sound cartridge. They also had the silent one. Mostly the silent ones we used, they were better in a way. I'll explain that in a moment. But you can imagine at £5 or £6 for 3 minutes 20 seconds, you didn't get a great deal of filming done, and because it was expensive, you were very careful on what you filmed. When you bought the film, I've even got one here in a sealed box ready. This is how you bought it, in a box. This one's dated October 1978. It was process paid at the time. What you did, when you'd exposed your film in the camera, you had a little envelope like this supplied with it. You simply wrote your name and address on there, and the address, the processing address, which actually I remember was Hemel Hempstead. And you put your film in there and sealed it up with a self-adhesive, posted it away, and then if you were lucky, about a week later it would come back on a little spool ready to show on your projector. And then you had to edit it if you were serious about it, which was quite a complex job. So that's what it was like in those days, and I just thought I'd show you how things have changed today. This is one of the little cameras that I'm using today, and you can see the difference in size. It's actually smaller than the actual cartridge used in the old one. This is a little cross store, and if you're interested, I've done a video on this, so you can see the video. I'm using this quite a lot. Obviously I'm not using it to film this, I'm using my older Panasonic. But I use this on my bicycle when I go out cycling, and it's quite handy. I'm going to show you the actual film stock used, as opposed to this. This is what I'm recording on now. That's a 64 gigabit micro SD card, and you can get many hours of recording on there. Not only can you get a lot of time on there, it's also, this records in 4K, so I can get a whole day's cycling on there no trouble. Whereas this, you can imagine, even if it was possible to carry a cine camera on your bike like this, if you want to, with that, you wouldn't get very far before the film ran out, and you'd have to put another film in. It would cost a fortune, and it probably wouldn't be much cop anyway. So the quality of this is far superior. It's unimaginable what it does. I just thought people might be interested how things have changed. In a way, I find it quite sad, because I think it's taken some of the fun out of it. It's a bit like photography in the old days. I used to do my own developing and printing. It was quite nice. You could take some pictures of the children perhaps, and then you take them in the dark room and process them, and then by tea time you could have the final prints and the results, or the slides, whatever you were doing. And at the time it was really nice. Today, of course, with instant digital photography, I suppose people would laugh at it, but there was a magic attached to it, I think. Sort of when you saw the picture being developed in the developing tray and an image appearing on the paper, there was something exciting about it, which is sort of lost today. It's all very clinical. It's a shame. And I think it was the same with this, with the Cine. We used to, I've got a little editor. I still got my equipment, the editor and everything, and it was quite involved actually editing this film, whereas this one, you do this on the computer, which can be quite complex, I realise, but it is a lot easier than editing with this. One thing you have to remember with the Cine camera is that with when you put the cartridge in there, you'll notice there's the film's exposed in two places, once there and once there and there. And the reason is that if you look in the camera, this is where the picture is recorded via the lens, and down at the bottom here is where the sound is recorded. Now, obviously you can't have the two together, so the sound is leading the image by around about 18 frames. Now, the problem with that is, if you film it and record the sound and then you edit the film, if you cut it in the wrong place, you'll cut the sound so it won't work properly. So we used to find it was better to actually put the sound on afterwards, so do the filming and then record the sound on the projector afterwards, because if you didn't do that, then you would find it very difficult to edit properly, unlike this today where you cut the film and it cuts the sound at the same point. So it's, you know, it's quite sad really, I think, that these things have lost any use. I mean, it's virtually useless today. I can't bear to throw it away, and it cost so much at the time, but what can you do with it? I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of my ramble on that. Bye for now.